My name is Adrian Nantchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. Now, how important is attitude? Attitude is very, very important. It's the way you act, it's the way you behave, it's the way you think, it's the way you feel. Not just in business, but in life, and relationships, and love, and health, and wealth, and well-being, and respect, and knowledge, and everything else like that. Attitude is down to how you act and behave. You see, there are two kinds of people in the world, really. Those that will have, both of them will have opportunity walk right in front of them. Something to do with their life, or something to do, or to create, or monopolise, or invent. But only one person will recognise the opportunity. For whatever reason. It might be attitude, it might be knowledge, behaviour, respect, no fear, no doubt, no insecurities, anything. You open up a dictionary, go to adverbs, anything. Someone might be too superfluous, someone might be too inimitable before they even dare to do something with their life. Attitude is very important, because without the right attitude, you're going to get stuck in life. You're going to get stuck doing the same thing again and 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 again before you decide to change. The way you think, feel and act in life determines how you do and how you perform in life. So a lot of people out there will do what I've coined is the 40-40-40 rule. A lot of people will work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and because of inflation, their savings are worth 40% less when they come to retire. Is that really the kind of life you want? 40 hours a week for essentially working for another entrepreneur or someone else's business or dream. I was watching Atlas Shrugged recently about Ayn Rand, the film, part 1. Quite an interesting film, although I do see a bit of a drop in quality or production value after each one. But and there's this little clip. This is like America, like today actually, or like not too far in distant future. And there's this economic crash, and there's one guy. There's a little clip. There's one guy on the street got a placard, and it says something like, "I was a CFO, a chief financial officer, a Fortune 500 company, and a CPA. I'm not quite sure what that is. For 20 years, and he's looking for work or salary at any level." And it's like, you did all that amazing stuff, all this amazing knowledge, and decades of experience, at least 2 decades as a CPA. I'm not quite sure what that is, but okay. And it's like, start your own business, do your own thing. There's another clip where I saw this guy. It was like in the underground. He had this little cardboard box saying, "Where's my job?" And it's like, mate, I understand the context of the film, but it's like, mate, give yourself a job. I remember reading an article a few years ago by Gabe Newell, who's the guy behind Steam, which is a platform where you can download and play PC games. And there was an article by him saying some advice for people who are just trying to enter the video games industry. And it said something like, how to get a job in the industry, give yourself one. Give yourself a job. Your attitude will determine how you think and act towards the world. There's an interesting psychological thing called learned helplessness, where learned helplessness is through repeated failure, or failure to launch, or some failure of sorts, you start to get stuck in this like almost like Pavlovian response towards action, towards initiative, or towards attitude, where it's like, how do I do this thing? Oh, I can't do it, so I'm not going to try and bother doing it. It's just like a self-defeating purpose. It's like a self-fulfilling negative feedback loop right out the bat. It's rather bizarre, where it's like, some people will ask a question like, how do I do this? How do I do that? It's like, don't ask me, Google it. Do it yourself, go on YouTube, go on Google, find out the answer yourself. Oh. That's a bit of an oversimplification, a little thing just there with the Google and YouTube, but that's the whole principle, where it's like, you can do this yourself, but you lack the resourcefulness. And the resourcefulness comes from the attitude. Because the world is the same, 24 hours in a day, hunger, health, wealth, with the drive, rain and electricity and gravity, all that kind of stuff. It's the exact same, but what the difference is how we react to it, how we perceive it, how we interact with it. That's the difference. Some people look at the world and say, look at all that stuff I can do. Look at all this opportunity there is. And there is. Start a YouTube channel, broadcast your message, start a podcast, talk to people, halo effect, write a book. Do it for free. Borrow money. You got lack of money, crowdfunding, and the business, the banks, and there's loads of money out there. Of course, if you're worthy enough, and you can borrow money like lickety split. There's opportunity out there, but through my lens, through my filter of like attitude or a higher level of frequency or super latency or higher consciousness or more knowledge or experience, all of those, any of them, none of them, whatever, whichever you think it is, whichever you think is important to you, and that affects the world. Because some people, as I said earlier, the same opportunity will come along, but one person will say, I can do that, let's do it. Another person will go right over their head. And it will be as though they never saw it. And it will mean nothing to them. In one ear, out the other. And I say to people, you should start a podcast, you should do something, you should start a video, you should do something, Mate, you should write a book, supply and demand. No one's written a book these days, How many people got a degree versus how many authors do you know? In one ear, out the other. And it's like, and I bet you now, some people, my age, my generation, my whatever, same town, or 2 mile radius from me, any metric, any KPI you want to choose, and I guarantee now, 10 years, 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, they will have regrets from not taking action in life, and I will have achieved more in a single year than they would have achieved in maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, dare I even say their entire lifetime, which is doable. And so the way I see it, kind of building up from that, is what's called a regret minimization framework, where look at your life today, 2017, and project yourself into the future, like mentally, on the fourth dimension. 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 100 years, 120 years. You never know. Life expectancy is increasing. You could, I could, anyone could. So project yourself into the future and look at the big picture of life, the way your life is going, and look at the big picture and think, what kind of decisions or actions or things would I regret or not regret doing? I can tell you now, recording this video, writing this book that I'm doing this podcast and a few other things, I can tell you now that by age 124, I'll have very few, if any, regrets. And actually, I can predict now I'll have more regrets through action, through action rather than inaction. Meaning, I'll have regrets thinking, oh, why did I spend my day doing that? Why did I go there? Why did I do this? Why did I spend so much time over here? Why did I work on that so much? Things like that. Not too many there, a handful of those, but not too many. But regrets through inaction, meaning I didn't do this thing, or I didn't dare do that, or I didn't go there. Not really. If I really think, there might be 1 or 2 or 3, but not as many as like regrets through inaction, regrets through action. So, and that's attitude. As I said, some people will work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and they'll be fine with that. That's fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. In life, there's only 2 things you need. Be happy with what you're doing. Be happy. Emotional requirement, stress, or reduce stress, and be competent with what you're doing. If you're not competent, you're not getting the fruits of your labour. So attitude is very important because it determines how resourceful you are, and how resourceful you are means how much you can do in life or in society or in the world, or how much you can do, Some people will see a piece of paper and think, this is a piece of paper, who cares? Somebody else will see a piece of paper and say, I can turn that into a swan, origami. So, attitude is damn important. Damn important. I have to emphasise that. Damn important. You can learn a lot from people who are richer, smarter, faster, wiser, older, younger than you. Ask. There's a video by Steve Jobs where it talks about ask. Just ask. And he talks about a story where he rings up the guy from Hewlett-Packard. He asks for some help. And it's like, he gets the help and it leads on to the future. He asks, and Steve Jobs says that people are a lot more willing to help than you realise. And it's like, that's true. If people ask me something, how do I do this, how do they ask me a question that could be like that thick, for example, like paragraph-wise on Facebook or something, and I'll give an answer that's like that big or something. You know, something like that, or beyond. It's like, Adrian, how do I do it? Take it or leave it. You know, take it or leave it. And this is why also on my to-do list I've got a few advanced searches on LinkedIn about I want to contact 100 or 2 or 3 people and just to network with them, and ask for their advice and see what they say. Like, I'm looking to do this. What's your thoughts? You know, and do you know anyone else who's already doing this? Is it worthwhile doing it? Is it what it's all worked out to be? Is it worthwhile doing it, or is it too much stress and too much hassle? What do you think? I'm just very curious. We have something in common. I'm just curious. The worst thing they're going to do is they're going to ignore me. But ones that do reply, information that I can then leverage and learn from and like have a conversation with. And it's like, well, you never know what's going to happen. You know, asking people. And attitude. Attitude is damn important. Damn important. Increase it. Get better at it. Be smarter at it. Be wiser. So my question of the day to you is, how are you increasing your attitude? How are you increasing it? How are you increasing it? I've just talked about some of the ways I'm doing it. The regret minimization framework, 40-40-40. Like a benchmark that is to be more efficient in life. So how are you increasing your attitude? But also remember that this channel is always going to be about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. How cool is that?